Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends, Dedeker, Jace, and Jesus teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible.
Direct from Jesus himself.
Wow. Yeah.
I like that after you've spent all this time, now he's become one of your best friends as well, along with us.
Yeah.
So that's great.
I don't know about best, but at least I feel like I know him a little bit better than I once did.
Would you hang out with him? Would you go get a beer with him?
I think absolutely.
Would you go get a beer with him only in a group setting? Would you go get a beer with him, but after 2 hours you're exhausted? Like, what do you think actually what kind of friend role he would fill in your life?
If he were the Jesus that I know from John, I think after 2 hours I would be really exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he were the Jesus from the other Gospels, maybe we'd, have a chill time and it would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Yeah. So, anyways, fun times.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. And I love that you've come to that point now, right? I like that we all have maybe more of a little familiarity with him now, or at least the different portrayals of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
And that's nice that we're able to have that instead of just having to take for granted what people seem to think or have told us or anything like that.
So here we are, the most final of John's.
Yes, the most final.
This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. And of the Gospels, it's kind of amazing. Just truly incredible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's dead, though. So we're going to get the resurrection.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
We left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What was the exact cliffhanger we left on? I forget.
I think they put his body in the tomb, or a tomb.
Yeah, did they?
They stashed him
Right.
somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
They just found one that hadn't been used because they were doing it all sneaky by night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was going to be the holiday. So they were like, oh, we got to get him somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then wasn't it 100 pounds of spices also?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
They put that in there too?
No,
Just
they
a ridiculous
on
amount of
him.
spices.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That was so random. Why would they do that? I have no idea.
Right. Yeah. It was a mixture of myrrh and aloes that, depending on the translation you read, is between 75 and 100 pounds worth, which is so much.
So
It really is
much.
so much. My goodness.
Mhm.
That's a ton. Wow.
Yeah, that's where we left off.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to finish this. And then we're doing a quiz. And
Yes.
Yes.
it'll be great. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Ready. Okay.
What are you two drinking on your final gospel day?
Oh, I'm having a final gospel Guinness.
Nice. Beautiful.
Gospel Guinness.
Gospel
That's
Guinness.
really
That
good.
is good.
I'm having a gospel IPA. That's less alliterative, so less fun, of course.
Yeah. So every Tuesday with my partner, I go do trivia, which is fun. And you get some prizes if you win. If you get in the top 3, you get some prizes. And the prize for first place is a full bottle of liquor. However, unfortunately, yeah,
Nice.
unfortunately, it's the bottom barrel worst liquor ever.
Oh, no.
It doesn't even have.
Are you telling us you won, though? You got first place?
Yeah,
Win
well,
some cheap liquor?
my partner and me and a bunch of other people that we were with. So yes,
You won. You got first place. So let's take a
Yeah.
moment for that
No,
first. That's great.
Listen, the people that I
Congratulations.
play with are very good at trivia, and we I think the worst we've ever done is 4th, at least in the time that I've been here. So third place, you get like $5 gift cards each to come back the next week and spend.
Wait, hold on. But how did you split a very cheap bottle of liquor?
Well, we didn't. And so they gave it to me.
Chugged it all right.
They gave it to me as like a housewarming gift, basically.
Okay.
But I got to say, like, I don't enjoy drinking it, obviously, at all, because it's whiskey, but it's like terrible whiskey.
Was it like Black Velvet?
No, it
Is
says
that the
like,
brand?
God, I can grab it. It's so gross.
Go grab it. Grab it.
Not that we want to like drag any particular brands or anything like that.
Look at this.
But we might.
Look at this.
It's just whiskey.
Yeah.
It's just was Commonwealth.
Commonwealth,
Okay.
like a well whiskey.
Okay.
And look at it says whisk.
Sure.
WSK on it. Yeah, no, exactly. Like I can only have a very tiny amount of this at a time, but today I was like, well, I'm not like in love with John, so I'm going to have some of this whiskey. It's not like I'm going to make a really fancy drink. I'm going to make a whiskey sour. So I did. And you know, it's fine. It has a little twist on the top and my usual lemon lime.
If you mix it with a lot of stuff, it's probably okay.
I mean, it is retailing for $13.99, so maybe that will indicate to you the quality of the whiskey.
I'm going to try it. Yeah, I put a lot of lemon and lime, like a lot in there to try to offset that, whatever that is. But anyways, moral of the story is it's better to get second or third because then you don't go on with the second place. You get like a 6-pack, which is great. And that's easy to split.
Oh, right.
First place?
Right.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Indeed. All right. We doing this?
Okay.
Alrighty.
I feel so ready to bring this home
Yes.
today to be complete with the Gospels forever.
Wow.
Our last little bit of precious time with Jeezy Crazy.
We're never reading this again. Let's be honest.
Yes, indeed. All right. So today we are continuing on with John for the last time. We have 2 more chapters to go, chapters 20 and 21. As we get started, we would like to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you could listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, it's John Vainthi. I will miss that song. That song was like the best part of John. Okay, one of the best parts. Alrighty. Now, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene, you know her, you love her.
It's the real one, though, this time, not just Mary.
No, Mary Magdalene.
Clear this time.
Yes. Went early, while it was still dark, to the tomb and saw the stone taken away from the tomb. Therefore, she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, who we're not going to ever
the
name.
unnamed one.
God, who is it?
Right?
It's not John.
Weird.
It's got to be someone else. It's weird to me, though, that they keep him
Secret.
like under wraps.
Yeah.
Keep him secret. Keep him
Yeah,
safe.
that
What's
is
up
odd.
with that?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe he's in sort of like a witness protection program at this point.
You're right.
I'm surprised also that Simon Peter is a loved boy, considering what he just did. He denied Jesus 3 times, and then a rooster crowed because of it.
That's true. He didn't get very many consequences. It was just kind of a like, look, Jesus knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
you're right.
So he came to, or she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved and said to them, "They have taken away the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have laid him." Therefore, Peter and the other disciple went out, and they went toward the tomb. They both ran together. The other disciple outran Peter.
Okay.
and
Competition.
came toward the tomb. Goodness.
Okay.
That's so, he clearly loved
The
him
most,
the most.
exactly.
This random dude.
Yeah.
I love it. They both ran together. The other disciple outran Peter and came to the tomb first. Stooping and looking in, he saw the linen clothes lying, yet he didn't enter in. So, like, Jesus stripped?
Do you think he
Well,
saw
yeah,
also
I
the
guess
pound of like 100 pounds of spices left behind? Or did Jesus take those with him?
You keep
Did
calling
he
it.
absorb them?
He needs them in heaven.
You keep calling it spices, but it's more of like a goo of spices.
Yeah, I thought that it was like on his body.
Myrrh.
Sure, a spice mixture, a spice tapenade, if you will.
I don't think I'd want to eat that afterwards, Dedeker.
A spice peel. Maybe he did a peel, or like a body wrap. That's literally what it was.
I guess literally.
Just to preserve himself?
Yeah. Well, make sure that he still smells good after 3 days being dead and not showering.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
I was just following along in the Tyndale Bible here.
Yeah.
And I was really confused because I read ahead of you by a verse, and it wasn't until you read yours that I understood what it was trying to say.
Oh.
But verse 5 says, "And he stooped down and saw the linen clothes lying, yet wet he not in."
Oh, wet he not in.
Wet he what? and then he went, yet went he not in.
Okay.
That's because he stayed at the entrance there, but I was very confused for a bit.
Yeah, okay. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and entered into the tomb. He saw the linen clothes lying, and the cloth that had been on his head, not lying with the linen cloths, but rolled up in a place by itself.
It's so specific.
It really is.
Interesting. Okay, so he wrapped his little head kerchief.
Yeah, just like gently.
Folded it nicely.
Down.
Yeah, and then put it on like a rock or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's polite.
It's like after maybe with that body wrap or peel, they also did that little like lavender thing on his eyes,
Yeah, like the little pillow.
Yeah.
The aromatic
that's what
pillow.
It was. Mm-hmm.
I'm also thinking this means that Jesus is probably the kind of person who would go in for a massage, and then when he takes off the massage robe afterward, would fold it nice and lay it there instead of just like crumpling it in the basket.
It's very kind of him.
I do that sometimes. I can't help myself.
Well,
where you go to massage places where they give you a robe?
Well, I'm thinking of like massages in Japan where you wear like a pants and a shirt.
Or almost like when you get a Thai massage and they give you
that little kind of
uniform.
karate-gi situation they put on you.
Yeah. Fun times.
That's nice. I don't tend to fold it up nicely, although I guess now I'm going to feel bad.
Okay, good.
They're going to just take it and throw it in the laundry anyway. You know that.
I know, but it's, you want to, it's just a reflex. It's like, oh, I should put this nice.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Apparently Jesus had the same reflex for whomever. So then the other disciple who came first to the tomb also entered in, and he saw and believed. For as yet they didn't know the scripture that he must rise from the dead. So the disciples went away again to their own homes, but Mary was standing outside at the tomb weeping. So as she wept, she stooped and looked in the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white sitting, one at the head and one at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. They told her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "Because they have taken away my Lord, and I don't know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing and didn't know that it was Jesus.
Wait, how did she not know it was Jesus?
I don't know. Maybe he looked like so good. Maybe he went from a 10 to an 11. Or a 2 to 10.
You mean a 2 to an 11?
A 2 to an 11. And she was like, "Who is this hunka burning love?"
Hunka burning Christ.
Yeah. Awkward. Apparently I'm supposed to hand this off to Jace.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That was such a short section there. Wow. Okay.
Yes. Short reading today.
We also do have Rockanon in the chat asking how many eyes these angels had.
Every eye.
And you're right that we've suddenly stopped having angels be horrifying, I guess. Because in the other gospels, the whole like be not afraid thing implies they're still terrifying. And now it's like, now they're chill.
Everything has changed now. It's
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah. Or maybe Mary Magdalene's more used to this. Like she's seen angels before because she's been hanging with Jesus.
I bet she's
Maybe
still
that
like,
didn't make it into the stories.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. I like that. She's gotten kind of used to it, but it's still a little bit off-putting.
A little,
yeah.
just a touch.
Okay. So she saw Jesus, but didn't know who it was. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Who are you looking for?" She, supposing him to be the gardener, said to him, "Sir,
the gardener?
If you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him." Like, she thought the gardener maybe rolled away this stone.
Oh, wait, she thought that Jesus was the hot gardener? The 11 gardener?
The 11 gardener. Okay, but maybe it could be like a Gandalf the White situation, where they think that it's Sauron actually.
Yeah, and
we've
they
like piped in some of Sauron's voice. Or sorry, not Sauron. Yeah, Saruman's voice is mixed in, and it's like too bright for them to see, so they're all spooked. Or maybe he just had some cool shades on.
I come back to you now at the turn of the tide. Yes.
Much better comeback.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Much better resurrection.
Okay, so she thinks this is the super hot gardener. Oh, you know what? She was crying, so maybe her eyes are blurry. She can't see.
That's it.
Her mascara is all up in her business.
Yeah, it's running and getting in her eyes, and she's like, I can't see.
And she wouldn't.
Or maybe his the spice scent is just like overpowering. Her eyes are
causing her nose to run.
Maybe that's why she was weeping.
Good point. That's why she's weeping, actually.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's overpowering.
That's good. Okay. So she, thinking this is the gardener, said to him, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary."
Oh, Mary!
She turned and said to him, "Rabboni," which is to say,
which is
teacher.
his pet name. Yeah.
Which I like. This is his pet name. It's cute. Jesus said to her, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't touch me, for I haven't yet ascended to my Father. But go to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God."
Wait, why can't she touch him?
Because he's in the middle of a transition, right? If you try to touch someone who's in the middle of, I don't know, teleporting somewhere, your molecules are going to get all up in the teleportation beam, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
It's like,
like if you reach into a Star Trek teleportation beam, like mid-teleport, you could lose an arm or something. And he's like, I don't know how stable I am. I could teleport away at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that maybe it's like he's a caterpillar and he's becoming a butterfly.
Butterfly. Well, I like Rutabagle in the chat is saying that maybe he's too goopy. He still needs to take a shower, right? He's like, I still got all this 100 pounds of spices stuck to my person.
Yeah. That's possible. Okay, so Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord and that he had said these things to her. When, therefore, it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and when the doors were locked where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, Jesus came out and stood in the midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." When he said this, he showed them his hands and his side. The disciples, therefore, were glad when they saw the Lord.
Is the side like the poke? The poke,
yeah. The stabby stab. Yeah. So they saw that and they were like, "Oh, good. It's not an imposter. This is the real deal."
Yeah.
Jesus, therefore, said to them again, "Peace be to you. As the Father has sent me, even so I send you." When he had said this, he breathed on them.
What?
Oh, good. Okay, better than spitting on them, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
That dragon shout breath thing. From,
what is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's because
from Skyrim.
His powers are much more powerful now, like a Gandalf the White situation, where he used to have to spit to get enough concentration of saliva to be powerful, but now even just the moisture in his breath is enough to do it.
Cool.
So he breathed on them and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit."
I'm sorry, that's weird.
Okay, that's what Nick Cage is going to come out of his mouth.
Wait.
You're right.
Is it Nick Cage? No, it's Jim Carrey.
No. Oh, sorry, Jim Carrey, not Nick Cage. Boy, that's even more terrifying to think about. Nick Cage.
That would also be ridiculous. But Jim Carrey is just already? Emerging.
We have not cast Nick Cage yet. Okay,
wait, really?
At all?
That's surprising.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
What ridiculous? Maybe.
Oh wait, no. I'm incorrect. I'm incorrect.
We
have cast him as Amaziah. Whoever that is.
I don't remember who that was.
We may have wasted Nick Cage on a nobody, but you're right. It's Jim Carrey. That's a much better thing to imagine. Jim Carrey's going to come out of his breath.
Yeah. Okay. So he breathes out, and I guess the Holy Spirit, who we have talked about as being a CG, Jim Carrey's face in some smoke, receive the Holy Spirit. Whoever's sins you forgive, they are forgiven them. Whoever's sins you retain, they have been retained. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus. He also has a second name. Called Didymus.
Apparently.
Wasn't with them. He was running late, got stuck in traffic, I guess. He wasn't with them when Jesus came. The other disciples therefore said to him, "Dude, we have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails and put my hand into his side," yuck.
What? Ew.
"I will not believe."
Dude.
Well, so Thomas was just like, "I will believe it when I see it. Y'all are full of crap."
And put my fingers in it.
Ugh.
After 8 days again, his disciples were inside, and Thomas was with them. Jesus came, the doors being locked, and stood in the midst and said, "Peace be to you."
Wait a minute, 8 days? I didn't realize, I thought that Jesus flew off after that moment. 3 days. He took flight.
It's unclear where he went in the meantime after he appeared to the disciples.
Seriously. He hung out with Mary Magdalene.
Oh, yeah.
That's
they were
possible.
And his favorite boy. His favorite unnamed boy.
Yeah. Okay. I also like this detail about the doors being locked. I guess it's like they're trying to keep this all secret, that Jesus snuck in the back and the doors are locked so no one comes in and interrupts them. Or is it like he came
through the door
and teleported through the door?
I think he teleported.
Okay, that is cooler.
Badass. Yeah.
That's cooler. He said, "Peace be to you." Then he said to Thomas, "Reach here your finger and see my hands.
Is he going to pull his finger?
Reach here your hand and put it into my side."
Boy.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. I like thinking that maybe Thomas at this point is obviously convinced because he knows Jesus and recognizes him and is now regretting the fact that he said that. And Jesus is like, "Come on. You said you wanted to do this. Put your hand in there." And he's like, "Oh no."
He's "Do it. Come on, get all up in there."
Yeah.
All up in there.
"Don't be unbelieving, but believing." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God."
Thomas is just like, yes, I admit it. Yes, it's you. Yes, I believe. Great. We can just skip to that part.
Jesus said to him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and have believed." He said this one a few times.
Is that a big, that's a deep cut, or not a deep cut, but a strong cut.
It's part of the whole, you just got to have faith. You can't ask for proof. You can't ask to see any evidence of God or Jesus or anything. He said it. It's only those that have not seen.
These guys also saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also
I know.
get to see Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Therefore, Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book.
What book is it written in?
Thanks for that, John. Freaking weirdo.
But which are not written in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you may have life in his name.
Well, I don't know.
I want to know.
Actually.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know about the secret sauce.
Yeah.
We have one more chapter to read, but that felt very much like we've just ended with this nice note from the author to the reader being like, and here's why I wrote this down.
This is the epilogue.
I didn't write all of it, but...
Okay.
We get the epilogue next of the whole gospel series.
Okay.
Wait, can I ask, how many other gospels were written that were not published in the big book?
Well, a few.
Ooh.
A few?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think part of it is that we don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, how many do we know of?
Well, let's see. The Wikipedia entry for New Testament Apocrypha includes such things as
such hits
as list, which I will tell you. Okay.
I have it.
So we got, let's see, the list of non-canonical gospels, the Gospel of Marcion, the Gospel of Manny, the Gospel of Apelles, the Gospel of Bardesanes, the Gospel of Basilides, the Gospel of Thomas, Peter, Nicodemus,
this Thomas,
Bartholomew. There's a number. There's a number.
Yeah, there's Mary. There's also the Gospel of Judas. I'm assuming it's the other Judas.
That would be weird if it were
Philip. Yeah.
Philip.
There's also some with just cool names.
Like what?
Like the Gospel of Perfection. or the Gospel of the 12 Apostles, or this one is my favorite, the Gospel of the Four Heavenly Realms.
What are those?
Okay.
Pretty cool name.
But the Four Heavenly Realms, that's like a Buddhist term also. We got a little crossover fan fiction.
Oh, fascinating. Here. Did a Buddhist write that one?
Just like Saint Young Men. Well, I think to wrap this part up is basically we have a lot of extra content that we could dive into if we get to the end of the Bible and we're just aching for more.
This, yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to read this from John off the mic in the chat. The Gospel of Thomas it says that Jesus says that women have to become male to enter the kingdom of heaven and promised to make Mary Magdalene into a man.
Well, that's a good promise. At least he promised.
Fascinating.
Okay, I guess if we do read that book, we'll have to cast it with all of the actors from Mulan. To be Donny Osmond again to sing the... Yeah. Yes. Oh, make a man out of you.
That's good. That's
good.
That
whole thing?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We're going to take a quick break as we get our hearts and minds ready to read the very last chapter of John. But we want to take a moment to thank all of you for being here with us and also to ask you to go tell your friends. Bring a friend to DBS next time, And if you are listening to the recorded versions and you want to get all up in the live shows, we do those every Thursday on Twitch, although we are taking next week off as a little celebration after finishing all of the Gospels, little recovery time.
Also, I have a Broadway show to see. So
Emily's going to see a Broadway version of Mulan. No, that's not true. That would be cool, though. But yes, we would love for you to come join us in the live shows. You can find out about that by going to drunkbiblestudy.com/live, or you can just follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study. And if you've been loving this and having a great time, become one of our parishioners at Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy and support us there, it would mean the world to us. And as a thank you, we have things like early releases of episodes, personal toasts on the show, Emily's drink recipes, and of course, our appreciation, because we don't do any advertising or any other monetizing of this show. So this is the only way that we get by, is just from the loving kindness of our listeners like you.
Uh-oh, Emily's not back.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. It took too long for her to look up all the Mulan songs.
You're right. She's probably singing right now and doesn't realize we're back. She's like, when will my reflection...
I'm here. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I saw it, I was looking at the Twitch stream and it still said I had 35 seconds. So I'm like, I can mosey on over.
Nah, man. Yeah.
I'm good.
It is funny. I guess I forgot that Mulan only has 5 songs.
Yeah. I'm I don't remember any other songs because there basically aren't any others. And
there's not very many for sure.
Reflection was the big one.
For sure. That one's amazing.
Yeah. Reflection. Okay. It's honor to us all. And then Reflection, I'll make a man out of you, which is obviously the best one. A girl worth fighting for. And then the 98 Degrees / apparently Stevie Wonder also sang True to Your Heart, which was the credits song.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's not very many songs.
It's not very many songs, for sure.
Goodness.
For a musical, although, well, whatever. This is not Drunk Disney Study. At least not yet.
No.
Ready to bring it home? The gospel?
I'm so ready. Oh, yeah. Okay. Am I ready?
I don't know.
Yeah. Are you ready?
It's a big...
Yes, I think I'm ready.
It's big. It's a big deal.
Last one.
It's a big deal.
Last one.
You got this.
After these things, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias.
What?
He revealed himself this way.
Chilling with them.
But it's like he keeps disappearing in between.
Yeah, he's popping in and out.
Maybe he's just like God once was, and now he's chilling up in the sky, but then popping in whenever he wants to say hi to his friends.
Seems to be that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I mean, that is how God used to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Simon Peter, Thomas called Didymus, I would say Nathaniel, but it's spelt like Nathanael of Cana
you're right.
in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing. They
Okay.
Great.
They told him, we are also coming with you.
Okay.
They immediately went out and entered into the boat. That night, they caught nothing. But when day had already come, Jesus stood on the beach. Yet the disciples didn't know that it was Jesus. He's got those shades on
Jesus
again.
wasn't already with them when they went out fishing. He showed up afterward. I see. They were all hanging out fishing, and then Jesus showed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus therefore said to them, "Children, have you anything to eat?" They answered him, "No." He said to them, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." They cast it, therefore, and now they weren't able to draw it in for the multitude of fish. They're like, "Oh, we didn't think about casting it on the other side of the boat."
Yeah, where all the fish are.
That disciple, therefore, whom Jesus loved, said to Peter, "It's the Lord." So when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord,
Chase is not loving this like non-named disciple getting all the glory and credit.
No, it's just weird to me too that they're like talking to him. Because I feel like with Mary, she didn't recognize him until he was like, "Mary, hello." And then she's like, "Oh my gosh." And that's how it went the other times, it seemed too. But this time, he's like there on the boat with them and they're still
he's not on the boat. He's on the beach. I think he's hanging out on the beach.
Yelling at them at the beach, or is he like?
I think he is.
Okay,
Maybe he's far away.
Like, what's going on here?
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, so the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It's the Lord." So when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he wrapped his coat around him, for he was naked. He was fishing naked.
The Lord or the disciple?
Hold on. Let me finish this sentence.
Okay.
Who was naked?
When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he wrapped his coat around him, for he was naked, and threw himself into the sea.
What?
Which doesn't make any sense.
Put your clothes on first.
It really doesn't, Simon Peter. This is.
Well, but he knows, okay, if he's naked and he's going to jump in the water, but he knows he wants to be dressed when he's on the beach with Jesus. He's like, "Well, I got to bring it with me." Yeah. I have questions about the naked fishing, though.
They're just a couple of boys having fun, fishing in the sea.
I guess they're not using any hooks. They're just using nets. I'd be worried. I wouldn't want to fish naked.
You would be worried. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'd be
if your boat has splinters on it.
Exactly.
And
stuff. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
What if a fish yomps on you?
Maybe it's plastic. Knobs
maybe
on
it's
you,
just
as it were.
Yomps on you.
Yomps on your knob. Yes.
Maybe it was just really hot. And so, you're
Sure.
stripping off your clothes because you're hauling up nets that are empty, I guess, just full of seaweed or something.
Mm-hmm. But the other disciples came in the little boat, for they were not far from the land.
There were multiple boats?
I guess so. They have a whole flotilla. But they were not far from the land, but about 200 cubits.
No, I think it was that they were all in the little boat. He jumped out of the boat to get back to the beach
jumped out
quicker.
Of the little boat.
And they just actually took the boat back because they weren't very far.
Dragging the net full of fish. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that really faster to friggin' swim rather than use the boat?
He's so excited.
So excited.
So when they got out on the land, they saw a fire of coals there and fish laid on it and bread. Oh, he set up a little campsite. That's so romantic.
Nice. Yeah.
Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish which you have just caught." Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fish, 153.
What?
And even though there were so many, the net wasn't torn.
Wow. Okay. I've got some really good stuff in the Tyndale Bible here.
Okay.
As soon as they were come to the land, they saw hoot coals and fishy laid thereon, and breed. Jesus said unto them, "Bring of the fishy which ye have now caught." Simon Peter stepped forth and drew the net to land full of great fishes and 53.
Wow, okay. So we switch into Roman numerals.
L-I-I-I.
So 100 is written out 100 like you normally would.
Like you write 100.
And then the 53 is written out in Roman numerals, which is weird.
That is weird.
And for all there were so many yet and not the net yet and for all there were so many yet was not the net broken.
Wow.
Nice.
Jesus said to them, "Come and eat breakfast." None of the disciples dared inquire of him, "Who are you?"
They're finally
knowing that
learning.
it was the Lord.
Finally
learning to never ask questions.
Yeah.
Then Jesus came and took the bread, gave it to them, and the fish likewise. This is now the third time that Jesus was revealed to his disciples after he had risen from the dead.
Yes, we can count. John.
When they had eaten their breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?"
Meaning these dudes?
These fish?
Is it the fish or the dudes? That's a good question.
What are we talking about?
I mean, I know this story, so I'm pretty sure.
Wait, this is a story and that they tell you as a young person?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, all this.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this one.
All this?
All this
no, not all of
is
this.
Pure gold.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, all of this whole Jesus coming back stuff gets told a lot.
Okay.
"Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord. You know that I have affection for you."
That didn't really answer his question, but okay.
He said to him, "Feed my lambs."
Wait, where?
He said,
"Are there lambs there?"
I think his metaphorical lambs, his flock, you know.
Okay.
He said to him again a second time, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I have affection for you." Yeah, he's really dodging the question.
It's like, sure, bro.
Okay.
He said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you have affection for me?" Peter was grieved because he asked him the third time, "Do you have affection for me?" He said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I have affection for you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Most assuredly, I tell you, when you were young, you dressed yourself and walked where you wanted to. But when you were old, you will stretch out your hands and another will dress you and carry you where you don't want to go." Gosh.
Jeez.
Now, he said this, signifying by what kind of death he would glorify God. Uh-oh. When he had said this, he said to him, "Follow me." Then Peter, turning around, saw a disciple following. This was the disciple whom Jesus sincerely loved, the one who had also leaned on Jesus' breast at the supper and asked, "Lord, who is going to betray you?"
We remember.
Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, "Lord, what about this man?"
"Lord, do you love him the most?" Jesus is
what's
like,
going on here?
Hell
buddy?
yeah.
Jesus said to him, "If I desire that he stay until I come, what is that to you? You follow me."
Awkward.
This saying, therefore, went out among the brothers that this disciple wouldn't die.
What?
Yet Jesus didn't say to him that he wouldn't die, but "If I desire that he stay until I come, what is that to you?" This is the disciple who testifies about these things and wrote these things. Okay, this is John's self-insert.
This is for him
fanfic.
revealing.
I was
it was
right.
me. I was the disciple all along.
Ew.
We know that his witness is true. There are also many other things which Jesus did, which, if they would all be written, I suppose, we're in first person now, I suppose that even the world itself wouldn't have room for the books that would be written. The end.
I'm sorry. John just inserted a freaking fan fiction of himself in here.
Holy cow.
And the first person address also at the very end. He may as well have thrown in "Oh, dear reader" while he's at it.
Wow.
Good Lord.
It's weird. I love that.
I never got that verse.
Has
I don't
anyone
think.
ever read this before? Has anyone else been like, "Okay, John, you need to calm down a little bit,
buddy"? Weird.
Wow,
okay, so
we did it. First of all, can we celebrate?
Okay, yes.
All
celebrate.
the Gospels, all 4 Gospels.
Wow.
Dang.
Amazing.
Wow.
We did it. Cool, man.
I'm sorry. That really took me by surprise at the end there, where this whole thing of him. So he asked Simon Peter to come with him, and this other person just followed too, just because he wanted to. And when Peter's like, "What's up with that?" Jesus is like, "What's it to you if he hangs out? That's cool." And then he goes on to clarify.
He's my most special boy.
Oh, that means he's not going to die.
Wait.
Right.
Yeah. So
no, like John, a bunch of people.
What? What?
Yeah.
But then it's him, the guy who's writing. And so is he claiming that he's not going to die?
I think he's claiming that he's like in heaven with Jesus right now, like chilling. And then he wrote this book and then he's going to send it to everyone on earth or something.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm seeing other translations here.
Yeah, what does the Message say?
Yeah. So Okay, so the version that we read and the King James, the quote is Jesus saying, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. Right? It's just like, whatever. It doesn't matter if I let him hang out. It's how I read that. But in the New International Version and the Message, it's, if I want him to live until I come again, what's that to you? As in like the second coming type of a coming again.
Yeah,
and then the author goes on to say, this is how that rumor got out and everyone thought it meant this disciple wouldn't die, but that's not what he said. He just said, if I want him to live until I come again, what's that to you?
Okay.
Can I just, Annalisa in the chat is pointing out the fact that, like, is this John trying to explain why he can be writing 200 plus years after Jesus died and still have been there in person? And that's really interesting because if this isn't true, then it's just some weird guy inserting himself in this freaking gospel as a fan fiction and kind of like editorializing based on and, expanding the stories from the other gospels into this one.
Yeah. The whole thing is very weird.
It is like a weird fantasy. Like, what if I was one of the disciples?
It's kind of sad if you think about it.
I bet you I would cuddle with Jesus.
Exactly.
I bet you that he would love me the most.
It's like that movie
his favorite.
on Amazon right now that's like the Harry Styles fan fiction movie with Anne Hathaway.
What?
It's
like,
I'm not familiar with this.
It's like, I forget what it's called, but Anne Hathaway is basically playing like a young mom that gets in a relationship with like a very young like boy band kid.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like Harry Styles fan fiction.
Like it was based on Harry Styles.
Yeah,
fan
like a
fiction.
mom is like.
Okay, so like this whole thing of 50 Shades of Grey being based on Twilight fan fiction and all this.
It's layers
stuff.
upon layers, but this is what I'm saying. Wow. This was the first one. This is the first, the Jesus fan fiction that we never knew that we needed or wanted because we
never knew was out there.
Yeah.
The Gospel of John was the direct predecessor to 50 Shades of Grey, I think is what we're saying.
Now it all makes sense.
And apparently it's Harry Styles fan fiction thing.
And that too, yes.
Okay, well, here's the deal. So we need to prepare our hearts for a quiz right after this, but first, we have some housekeeping to do. So here's the deal, folks.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if all y'all were around for this. Several weeks ago, Sam, our beloved Sam in the chat, somehow gave us some sort of suspicious story about their parishioner Patreon payment not going through and they had to sign up again. And so then they were a new patron again. And so instead of a toast, we had to give them a little bit of a roast, right? Ha, ha, ha. We all laughed about it. It was great. Then it happened a third time. Well, I guess this would be the second time. The third time that Sam has signed up to become a parishioner. Wait, hold on. I'm confusing myself. The second false coming of Sam. Yes, the second
is what
false.
We're talking about.
Yes, exactly. Now it's happened again. And I was ready to be like, okay, now that it's happened again, now it needs to be an actual roast where we're going to whip out like the most vicious, insulting, vitriolic, roastery,
already upset.
100 pounds of spices on this roasty hunk of meat that is Sam. But we came up with a better plan.
What?
Which is that we're actually going to give a toast to B, who became a parishioner before we were giving toasts. And I think felt sad that they never got a toast. So we're going to sacrifice Sam's roast on the altar and catalyze it into a sweet savor, which is actually going to be a toast to B. So let us all raise a glass and toast our beloved B. Oh, thank you so much, B. Clearly, you've been with us for a long time, from the beginning. In fact, we haven't scared you off yet. So thank you so much for your support. Woo! And Sam, thank you for your repeated support once again.
So much
Can't wait for your next coming.
Goodness. Alrighty, everyone. Stick around for the quiz. That is going to happen shortly. We are so excited to do our final gospel quiz.
And a reminder that we are off next week.
We are off next week. Thank you. But we'll be back the week after for the start of Acts. Is that about Paul?
Yep.
Not yet.
No.
Okay, whatever.
Not yet.
I'll find out. Thank you for...
Don't worry, you're going to get so much Paul, you'll be tired of him eventually.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoyed the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group or on our Discord server at discord.drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.